Hello, welcome to this week's episode of Sportscast Podcast. This week we'll take a look at what's been happening in the Formula One, the international break of the football, as well as the other sporting events that's happened this week. And James has an interesting, unique sport to talk about.
Hello, gentlemen.
Good evening, you all right?
Yeah, very well. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad.
Hi guys.
How are you?
I'm sound.
Good. Busy week, really, I think. There may not have been much going on in the football world, but there's been a pretty busy week of sport. So, should we start with the obvious one, Jordan?
Yeah, let's start with the obvious one, the Formula One. Live from Albert Park, of course, Australia. One of my favourite Grand Prix.
And without a doubt.
I was gutted when they moved it from the first race of the year, because I don't know about you guys, but the Bahrain Grand Prix, it's just a bit bland. It's got the lowest attendance on the entire calendar, whereas the Aussies absolutely love Formula One. They've got two Australian drivers. They've got a big following over there. It's a fantastic street circuit, and it always produces fantastic races. Whether it's mechanical breakdown or whether it's action or overtakes, it's a great racetrack.
I love it. It reminds me a lot of Canada, and I love Canada. With the sort of street, a little bit of circuit-esque with some runoffs, but that was close street with overtakes. The only good thing that's ever happened at the Bahrain Grand Prix was in COVID, where they did the outer track.
Yeah. To be honest, Albert Park is a great track. I wish they would move it kind of towards the beginning. Well, the first race, and then do Japan, and then do the Middle East. Maybe, I don't know, but they don't do
that. What they don't do is they don't have them all in like one area and then move across, because they don't want local fans to lose interest.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you've got to kind of mix it up. I mean, it was a 4 a.m. start for us today. It wasn't for me, absolutely, categorically not. My son woke me up at about 6:15, so we came downstairs and we watched 58 laps at Albert Park together.
Years gone by, it was a 5 a.m. start, and I did it a lot. But 4 a.m. with Max out on pole, I just kind of said no.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Speaking of Max Verstappen, so if you don't watch Formula One, or you actually live underneath a huge rock, he DNF'd for the first time in exactly 2 years today with a stuck-on back right brake.
Is that what it was?
Stuck on back right brake. So on as soon as lights went out, he put his foot down, hit the first corner. The back right brake locked on, but not to kind of call to lock up.
Yeah,
it was rubbing against the actual
tyre.
That just basically heated up, melted, stuck on, and then caused the fire and the explosion that we saw in the pit lane. He obviously he was upset. He was angry, but do you know what? He will still probably win the World Championships, but it's admirable to see that kind of he is that guy that wants to go out and wants to win absolutely everything all of the time. But I think control his emotion better than the past.
He did you say?
No, yeah, he did control his emotions better than in the past. Usually, I think last 2 years ago, he'd be screaming, but now he's got a couple of World Championships under his belt. I think he's kind of zen out a little bit.
I think you look at, and James will know a little bit more about this, with especially around the American stuff with Michael Jordan, and then sort of Tom Brady and Tiger Woods. I mean, even Schumacher for what it is, and Ronaldo. Those that have been the, this is going to pain me to say it about Max, but those that have been, he will be this eventually, but one of the greatest ever.
Yeah.
You it's win at all costs. And if you do not win, you lose. He doesn't come second. He doesn't come third. He doesn't come fourth. He wins or he loses.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, like with football, like England, for example, haven't won since 1966. The pressure is unbelievable on England. Like, we have to win because we've not won in so many years, blah, blah, blah. But actually, Max being a world champion, yes, he would, 2 years ago, he would have been screaming and he would have been disrespectful to the team and he would have been an immature it would have been an immature reaction. Yes, he wants to win or he loses, but at the same time, he understands that Red Bull have put him in a car that's been absolutely head and shoulders above everything else for 2 years, and then he's just got unlucky here.
How did the race go? Because I know James will not have seen anything.
So immediately following, well, actually, before the DNF, Carlos Sainz overtook into first place, followed by, I think it was Leclerc at that time, then the two McLarens, and that's pretty much how it stayed. I just want to kind of shout out as well that I stubbed my toe 2 weeks ago and I'm still crying like a little bitch about it. Carlos Sainz had appendicitis and had his appendix removed 16 days ago, and then went on to win the Australian Grand Prix, which actually there have only been 2 race winners in the past, 25 races. One of them being Max Verstappen, one of them being Carlos Sainz.
Sainz, yeah. What I did find interesting as well, we still haven't heard the Dutch national anthem on a Sunday yet.
We have not. This is absolutely true.
Both the first 2 races were on the Saturdays, and he didn't win this week.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely over the moon for McLaren. Obviously, my team. They got third. Lando got the podium, and then Oscar, in his home race, got fourth. Double points scoring for Haas, 9th and 10th. Absolutely outstanding.
They need that. Yeah, they need that.
Really do need that. Sad to see. In fact, no, actually, did Alex Albon end up in the points after?
Hamilton didn't get any points.
Hamilton, Albon.
Sorry. No,
Yeah.
No, Albon. No, it doesn't look like they did.
No, damn.
No.
Sad for him. It was his birthday on Saturday. Tough weekend for him. Even more tough weekend for Logan Sargent. Obviously, he had his car taken away. It was the correct decision in my opinion. James, what do you think? So the arguably the better, well, not arguably, the better driver crashed on Friday. Broke his chassis, completely irreparable. The kind of rookie junior member of the team was then bunked out of his own car to then give his car basically to the better driver. Do you think that's fair? Do you think that's the right call? Do you think that's the management decision? Or do you think you crash your car, you've got to sit out?
I kind of sit on the fence with it a bit. I've got splinters in the arse for this one because I get why the management have decided they've done what they've done because he is the better driver. I get that. But at the same time, he's balled his car up. Why don't you give the young lad a go? Give him a shout. You know, it's the same in football, isn't it? You know, the best striker, he gets injured. Okay, let's give the up and coming one a run out. So I would have personally gone with the young blood and given him a run out.
Yeah, he's actually got to the end of this season his contract runs out at the end of the season, so Logan Sargent has got some proving to do. The Williams is a decent car, but in the hands of kind of Max Verstappen, I still think it's only an eighth position. So, just very quickly on Formula One before we move on, I've done a little bit of research, and I think I understand now why Carlos Sainz has won this Australian Grand Prix. So, fun fact for you: so the average, the Formula One car has to be a minimum of 798 kilograms. Minimum 798 kilograms. That is 798,000 grams. The average male appendix weighs 18 grams.
Sorry. Are you saying that this guy has won this race because he had his appendix out?
What I'm saying is Logan Sargent needs to be careful because I think Carlos Sainz is going to use his appendix for the rest of the race. The rest of the season. Moving on.
I do want to move on from this conversation quite swiftly, but I do have a question for you, and I just want a very quick, maybe like 1-sentence response. If Sainz keeps on winning, how bad for Ferrari will it be at the end of the season?
I can't say it in a sentence, but what I will say very, very quickly is Leclerc has always been as the golden boy, and in my opinion, Carlos Sainz is the better racing driver, better overall kind of character, and I would like to see him in a top 2 car next season.
James, Ecuador, Guatemala, 2-0 Ecuador. What a game, eh?
What a belter. I said it last week as well, didn't I? The game I was looking forward to was it Mongolia and Azerbaijan.
Yeah,
wow.
With the home team taking the spoils as well.
They did, yeah, that was a belter. Oh, yeah, love International Week, mate. It's great.
No, we had Wales beat.
Yeah, that was quite good. I mean, I didn't see Wales winning it so comfortably.
No.
I didn't see that coming. I mean, what were they 3-0 up in the first 30 minutes or whatever it was?
Yeah.
So we got Poland on Tuesday, and I'm all right in saying the winner of that qualifies for the Euros.
Yeah.
So I think the Poland game would be a tough game because they got some good players. Poland. I mean, they're striker for one, Lewandowski. I mean, that's enough said, really, isn't it? But
He's knocking on now, though, Lewandowski.
Well,
yeah, 36, 37.
Yeah, he's knocking on, but he's a bit like Ronaldo. Yeah, they're knocking on, but he's still so bloody good.
I think I remember seeing something with him. When he was about 28, 29, he split up with his missus, and he's now with someone else, and she's a proper nutritionalist, Pilates, and everything else, and he's with her, and he said that has helped him give his career a bit more longevity.
So what you're saying is, I get a divorce and I'll be better. Is that what you're saying?
No comment. Oh. I've met your wife, and no, you wouldn't be. So yeah, but I'll be honest. There's not been a lot to really away from friendlies. A little bit of
we had a little bit of league football, didn't we? League One and down. So we had a couple of games in League One. Near enough a full roster of League Two. Yeah, your home team getting a good win at Forest Green Rovers.
Yeah, they needed that. Donny are on a bit of a run now. They are,
they're
16 points clear of the drop now. So I think that's them safe. At one point, they weren't very far away, but they've put a bit of a run together. So, but yeah, it's not County have dropped off a little bit. I thought they'd have stayed, up there, but they've dropped out the top half of the table now. Notts County, so really it's Mansfield, Stockport, Wrexham, which those 3 teams, 2 of them were promoted last year. 2 of them promoted last year, 1 the year before. So no, 2 the year before, 1 last year. So just goes to show that they're pumping the money into the club. So I think it's Stockport. They've got a striker. And he's on like $8,000 a week in League Two. They've basically just thrown money at him, to try and get through. I think it's that Madden. So some serious money in that league at the minute.
Nice to see that the money is trickling down into the lower leagues, and I think the documentary they had on the Welcome to Wrexham has kind of opened up a lot of people's eyes to what the lower leagues need more of, and that is more, the sponsorship and the gate receipts. A lot of them teams rely a lot on their gate, coming in. So I think that's kind of put it around the world, and certainly around the UK, that it's you can go and watch decent football, and it will only cost you a tenner, and it's a day out. You can take the kids, you can make a day. More people are doing that, so
yeah,
it's quite good.
No, good. Snooker season's back in full swing for me. Judd Trump beat Ding Junhui at the China Open, so be a few more weeks, and the World Championship's going to start in Sheffield. So I cannot wait to spend 6-7 hours a night watching snooker.
Rather you than me.
No. Any other little bits that you've seen through the week?
Not overly. No. You've got the women's Six Nations started as well in the rugby, haven't you? So that's the way. England have absolutely obliterated Italy 48-0 today.
Yeah.
In the women's Six Nations, and I mean the Welsh women are following the blokes by losing.
You see the kick? Did you see the kick?
No, I've not seen that yet.
No, 79th minute. Not too bad of an angle or anything like that. In front, just off centre of the front of the post, and missed. So that would have drawn the game level. So yeah, quite poor in fairness.
Classic Wales.
Yeah, it's there's been a lot. I'll tell you what has been this week. Talking of Wales, and Lewis Rees-Zammit has been done it's almost nearly the combine. So they have a 40-meter sprint, and the record currently set by, in the combine. So the fastest player that's ever played in the NFL ran it in 4.2 seconds. He ran a very disappointing, in his eyes, 4.44. So, and he was really quite cheesed off with it. And then he did the it's not the vertical jump, it's like the standing jump, and he got just over 9 feet. So he's drawn a lot of interest from a lot of franchises, and he's already started going around viewing the facilities. And as a New York Giants fan, I'd love to see him, because he killed the Six Nations for me. So at least give me something to go at. But the first club he went and viewed was the New York Jets. So he could really twist the knife and cheese me off. So I think he will make the NFL this year.
Yeah, I think so. He's quick, he's big, he's powerful. It's exactly what they want, isn't it? In that.
Yeah, he can be a wide receiver. He can be a running back. It gives teams that flexibility, versatility, and in set plays, and what's he doing now, and so. Yeah, I think he'll make it. Gutting, but I think he'll get there.
Good on him.
Has anyone seen anything else, or should we wrap it up for this week and catch up next week?
I like my weird sports.
Yes,
I am going to mention one that you keep thinking each week that I'm going to allude to it. So I'm going to get it out of the way now, because I know you do like this sport.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
It doesn't matter how much I read about it and how much I watch it. I cannot get my head around it for love nor money. But, gosh, jeez. It is Kabaddi.
Kabaddi? What is Kabaddi?
I was hoping George was going to pipe up with this.
Well, Kabaddi is... Well, you might as well teach a monkey to speak Mandarin, because that'd be easier than trying to explain the rules of bloody Kabaddi.
No. You have a court, and you have a half each, and you basically have to send someone from your team into the other half of the team to try and tag or touch out as many of their players as possible and get back.
Whilst continually saying Kabaddi.
Yes.
That's
And but it's really weird, because you can be tagged out while you're in their side, and it's really it's almost like it seems a little bit like
it's almost like tag and gecko wrestling combined.
Judo, and there's all the thing. And it's brilliant, because they're just moving around the court. Kabaddi. But it gets in millions of viewers.
Oh, God, yeah. Well, and one interesting thing about it is, well, I think it's interesting anyway, is that the fact that this game of Kabaddi is a 4,000-year-old indigenous sport. So they have been playing this game or a version of this game in India for 4,000 years.
Who had the TV rights for the first game?
Ooh.
Jesus
Well,
TV.
Yeah. Well, the Kabaddi League, the Pro Kabaddi League, has, in the first 90 matches of this year, has had 226 million viewers.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, you see the stadiums, it's kind of like a basketball stadium, isn't it? It's similar to a basketball, slightly like half court size thing that they're playing on, but the stadiums that are packed with people watching, 12 grown men play touch, and it's
14.
14, sorry, I don't want to do any disservice to it, but yeah, 14 people touching and grappling, and it's, I mean, Jordan, if you've never heard of it and you've never seen it, get up on YouTube, watch a little bit of it, and you can fall down a rabbit hole with it and watch it for hours and hours and hours and hours, and you still won't get it.
So is it from kind of India and that kind of area?
Yes.
Predominantly, yeah, it's around. I mean, I think there's several international countries that, I think the USA play it, Australia. You got cases in and around.
Think about it. Thinking kind of, this is the first time I've heard of Kabaddi, and the only thing I know about it is what you've just told me. Only America play American football in a big way, like, well, North America, if you like. Yeah. Whereas we do dabble in it a little bit over here, and there's probably like a German American Football League, for example. But if Kabaddi is indigenous and it's been played in India for thousands of years, like you alluded, then actually there's no surprise that it is a huge sport in that specific country. Like, it makes perfect sense. India is a country of 1.4 billion people, and if 220 million people watch it, that's probably less in terms of percentage than who watch American football, but not terrible. Like that would be one of their national sports. Obviously, cricket being the leading one, but it's not. The numbers kind of make sense.
Yeah, I guess it is just a very
weird.
Yeah, I like James sort of says. I very quickly, it was on Sky Sports, and you end up watching it for quite a long time. So I do enjoy it. I'll be honest, I'm trying to find sort of salaries and things like that, and it seems that they're on a few £100,000 a year at this thing, James. It's kind of one of the things that you'd expect them to be amateur in, but to
be fair, if they're bringing in the money and they're bringing in the TV, then they're bringing in sponsors and therefore cash.
Yeah, the best player, Pradeep Nawal, is estimated to be worth around about $1 million. So, I guess with sponsorships, but crazy, absolutely crazy. Well, I'm interested to see what you bring up next week, because I do enjoy Kabaddi, so I'm glad you've brought that one up this week.
Yeah, I thought I'd bring that up for you, because each week I speak to you shortly after, and you always go, I thought you were going to say Kabaddi.
Yeah.
So I thought, do you know what, this week, let's bring it up. So, and it's not, everyone that, that listens to this, and they've never heard of it, give it a watch. It's really interesting to watch, but you wouldn't have a clue what's going on.
I can't wait for John to explain the rules in depth next week.
I'm gonna pick up the not the manual, the rule book of Kabaddi, and I'm gonna read it from cover to cover.
The thing is, James, knowing Jordan as well I have, he's going to come back and he's going to have watched 60 hours worth of game time this week, and he's going to give us the full, hopefully 4,000 year background on it, but.
Well, I reckon by this time next week, he'd have already bought the Jaipur Pink Panthers jersey, I reckon.
No, well, both have a very good week, and same time next week.
Yeah, catch you later on. See you later.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Sportscast podcast. As normal, you'll get us on our social media, Instagram and X, formerly Twitter, at SportscastPod UK. Join us again next week.